In spite of the significant economic progress recorded in many African countries over the last 2 decades, the continent has been able to reduce its poverty rates in commensurate proportions. This, according to many stakeholders, may be attributed in large part to the initial high levels of inequality. In understanding the economic growth poverty nexus, studies such as the Easterly 2000 and Adams 2004 have all highlighted the critical role that income distribution plays in the poverty reduction. It is in view of this that the Africa Center for Excellence for Inequality Research has developed a handbook for inequality diagnostics to provide policymakers with relevant and current data to facilitate the policy discourse on inequality and poverty in the respective countries. Speaking at the launch of the report known as the Inequality Diagnostics for Ghana, project team member Dr. Richard Atta Ankuma stated that the wage inequality has been higher among women. He stated that while the gender gap in access to pre-tertiary education has begun to turn in favor of girls, women continue to face significant strains in the labor market.
There's a gap. So which means that women are not really getting what is probably due them. Men are earning higher, and that has been quite consistent over the period. And so we're thinking we have to find ways and means to ensure that we bridge this gap. And we're thinking one of the ways could be ensuring that at the higher level of education, women get more access. So if you look at our educational system now, we more or less achieve parity between male and female at the primary and secondary school level. But if you go to the higher level, the tertiary level, you still see some gap there. And so if you're able to address that gap, and then if you also bring in some legislation that would deal with issues of female stereotyping in the job market, that can also address the problem.
Coordinator for ASA Ghana Node, Professor Robert Darko called for the need to enhance existing social protection and education programs, as well as embedding production inclusion strategies into these programs.
If you look at the poverty dynamics and the matrix which Dr. Nkechi showed, you find that there is one box where we interrogate factors that can drive down both poverty and inequality. Okay, and clearly one of the factors which came out was that education is important. And also if you look at the inequalities of opportunities, what it is also throwing up is that education does matter in breaking, if you like, this cycle of actually being in an extreme poverty.